Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm sure people will remember Axel Rudakubanana. Yes, he's the subhuman vulture sperm that decided to go out of his way to stab and butcher 3 beautiful girls. Well, when I last mentioned him, I believe I mentioned him in regards to basically he attacked an officer, put a kettle of boiling water over their face. To which I actually said that Axel did us a favour, as his privileges would effectively be revoked. Well, in what I can describe as only weapons-grade retardation, is he's now had his privileges reinstated, including access to a TV and a DVD player. I have 2 questions for this. 1, why the fuck is this scumbag still in our country? Number 2, I thought a prison was supposed to be a stroke number 1, a miserable place, not a holiday camp. God, a stroke already in the first minute. I can tell this one is going to cause me to have quite a few strokes. But then there's obviously the other point that needs to be mentioned. Namely, what the fuck is he doing with access to boiling water in the first place? Now, call me a bluff old traditionalist, but if you're in prison, surely the only thing you should get, if you are the worst of the worst, is a stone slab for a bed. That's it. I think he should have no duvet, no pillow, no TV, no access to water, cold showers every day, nothing but slop for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I mean, the way I see it, he shouldn't even be having any luxuries whatsoever. Certainly no luxurious food, that's for certain. You don't get people to stay away from prisons by offering them 3 square meals a day. That is basically the same as living a normal life. I mean, Tommy Robinson has said it himself. These prisons may as well be tea training camps, or better still, more appropriate for the real world, is they may as well be hotels for the people that don't want to integrate. The only time you could even remotely justify somebody having a luxurious time in prison is if they've done something extremely minor. And even then, I think the vast majority of us would question even that. I know Behind Bars has mentioned something about how they move him around and what have you. And I know that he's mentioned, obviously, what happened regarding the privileges in the past. But the fact that this sperm, because that's what this maggot is, this vulture sperm is literally sitting in our cells at our expenses, enjoying life as if he was in a 4 or 5-star hotel, it makes me sick. Do you know what also makes me sick, though? David Graham, I believe it was, that Labour MP, that guy who was trying to basically, well, no, he did actually perform S-acts on a 15-year-old. Though, to be fair, I don't think a lot of us are really surprised that another politician has been found wanting under these crimes. I think more of us are more disgusted that it's another one from the nonce party. I mean Labour Party. Or maybe I was right first time. Well, this one, who decided to prey upon an underage child, he got 27 months in prison. Oh, you can see where this is going, can't you? That is 4 months less than what Lucy Connolly got for her post on Twitter for calling for the migrant hotels to be burned down. Yes, let's not worry about the scumbag who is doing illicit things with a child. No, let's worry about Lucy Connolly, because she's totally going to chew you up and spit you out. Whoa, here she comes. She's a man-eater. You said Blobby's Got Talent. Shut up, you. I'm not that bad. And obviously, I am being sarcastic when I call her a man-eater, because obviously, this woman was a Tory councillor, and she said her thing, as Ricky Jones put it, in the heat of the moment. She said what she said in anger, but she had the common sense to delete her post. But she still got 31 months for it. Turns out as well, it was actually lawyers who gave her that bad advice to plead guilty. So I wonder what's driving these wokey lawyers, these left-wing lawyers, to go up to people and basically say, oh, you should plead guilty to provide mitigation. I tell you what, if somebody told me, after all the posts that I could probably be fucking arrested for under Keir the traitor Starmer's regime, if anybody told me to plead guilty, I would literally give them a 5-word response. You can fuck off. Oh, it's actually 6 right now. Anybody who tells me plead guilty is getting sacked. Just like that. Freedom of speech is not a crime. The only time you are committing a crime with what you say or post is if you are actively inciting violence or terrorism. Much like, oh, hey, much like what Ricky Jones did. It's only here in batshit stroke number 2, batshit bonkers Britain, that you can get locked up for mean words on the internet, while the left can incite violence and murder and get off scot-free. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this. You know the drill, folks, because say it with me. It doesn't suit the narrative. I mean, the way I slice this with a machete. Anyway, the way I slice this is this whole thing stinks of retardation, quite frankly. Humanity is supposed to be progressing, not regressing. Right now, we have an oligarchy that's more brain dead than the left-wing NPCs of hate, not hope. We have morons that are actively calling for asylum seekers to be given hotels, and that hotels should be allowing more of these people in. All this on the back of the fact of that I can't get the words out. All on the back of the fact that Epping Hotel won a court case that basically they don't have to house these invaders. Make it make sense. Make it make sense as well that we have Rudakubanana, who is a literal T, who has murdered 3 beautiful girls, Elsie Dot, Bebby King, and Alice De Silva Aguilar, in cold blood. And he has had more human rights and more luxuries than Tommy Robertson has for putting out a fucking documentary. The only reason they're doing this is because this oligarchy panders to Islam. It panders to Pakistan, to Saudi Arabia, it panders to Sudan, it basically panders to every third world shithole on this planet. Hell, Angela Rayner's even trying to get closer ties with Pakistan. Oh, nothing could possibly go wrong with that. Oh, nothing at all. Said no one ever. You know what, Angela Rayner? Instead of going out of your way to try and get closer ties with Pakistan, how about you repair the relationship with your own fucking people first? How about the Labour Party actually starts doing its job and deporting all the invaders and the illegals that are in this country right now? Most prominently, the ones who are sitting in our prisons right now. I am sick to the back fucking teeth of our country being used as a dumping ground for invaders and foreign criminals, quite frankly. If you don't like what I have to say, oh, by all means, you can go and call Norfolk Constabulary. Because quite frankly, I'm not going to stop saying this. I am not going to sit here and let you take the piss out of the English people. Because I am a person who will, and you can say it with me, I'm not going to sugarcoat a motherfucking thing. I'm not going to mince my words. I'm going to say it exactly how it is. And I'll do my best not to bullshit you. Whereas Keir the traitor Starmer, you'd be lucky if you had him tell you the truth for 30 fucking seconds without a lie coming out. Quite right. Keir the traitor Starmer, the granny harmer. Yeah, all about free plasticine. Lying wanker, sectarian bastard.
I never voted Labour anyway. I didn't like it when Tony Blair was in charge.
Oh, Tony the war criminal Blair, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those They're like a gay couple. They're meant for each other, aren't they? Yes, if only we had the death penalty. Oh wait, Tony Blair rescinded the traitor law.
We've got a leader, we can't look at Trump and stand up to him. What a weak bastard.
Yeah, as much substance as a fucking glass of milk. See you later. It shows more and more people are waking up at any rate. We need less people like Keir the traitor Starmer, and we need leaders with a pair of balls, whether up here or down there, or in my case both, to be able to make all those hard decisions and to be able to say, you know what, we need to put our own people first. We need to cut foreign aid to the other countries. We need to kick out the intolerant religion of Islam, because the thing is, the vast majority of the people who preach Islam preach the Sunni side of Islam, i.e. the violent type, the ones that want to go and conquer the Western world. But that's something, of course, the mainstream media are not going to want to tell you, quite frankly. I know I got a little bit sidetracked there. Tracted. My Ingles, I speak good. Anyway, I know I got sidetracked there, but that was mainly because I wasn't expecting somebody else to actually be another Starmer hater. But I digress. My point is, if Norfolk Constabulary have a bloody problem with what I have to say, no matter how blunt I am, and believe you me, I'm more blunt than the Tsar Bomber, quite frankly, then all they have to do is come round my house. I would warn them right now though, before they get to my house, there's CCTV. So every bit of treachery, every bit of dishonesty, and all the other shit that they try to pull will be fully recorded on camera before I even start recording. And I am good friends with that neighbour. So I would think very carefully about what your moves are. I'm not going to say my little place is like Fort Knox, but I would certainly say it's got the cameras and what have you, the surveillance if you will. But I am going to keep saying it. Axel Rudakubanana should have been hanged on the spot. We should have brought back the death penalty, and we should have basically got rid of the war criminal Tony Blair. We should have stopped him from rescinding the traitor law. We need to bring back the traitor law so that we can have people like Tony the war criminal Blair and Keir the traitor Starmer actually see the rope and be put through it. And as I've said, context is important, and I say they should be given a trial before that happens. They seem to be very content though with having a biased jury and a biased judge preside over Ricky Jones. How fitting do you think it would be to have a biased judge and a biased jury in front of those two traitors, and we'll see how they like them apples. No wonder Granny Smith has got a hard crunch. Anyway, we need to teach these traitors in the houses of treachery, sorry, Parliament, or again, maybe I was right first time, a harsh lesson. We need to show them that we, the English, the British, whatever you want to call us, we're done fucking around. Right now, this country is on the brink of a revolution, whether it be a peaceful one or a violent one. We'd prefer peaceful, but if we're left with no choice, the government will only have themselves to blame if it turns nasty. Because here's the thing, we've done everything we can. We have been trying the last 10, 20 fucking years, if not longer, to try and keep this peaceful. But there's only so long a volcano will go before it turns from silent to erupting. And when that happens, what do you think will happen? Do you think the lava's just going to stop halfway down the volcano? Like fuck will it? It's going to travel down, it's going to destroy everything in its path. And those who stand in its way, I assure you, will not be standing for long. And that includes the likes of Keir the traitor Starmer. I cannot emphasize enough, if you're in prison for a serious crime, you should be put through hell. You should either be, if it's really serious, given the death penalty, which is what Banana should have had, or the only comfort you should have is a stone bed with no pillow. Because at the end of the day, prison is supposed to be just that. Prison. Not a Premier Inn. not a hotel, not a luxury resort. Last time I checked, I don't think they do HMB centre parks. There will come a point where the people will decide that peaceful action is not enough. And most of us, as it is, feel like these protests don't do much. That's why I've categorically said that the 13th of September is effectively our last chance to do this peacefully. Because I don't think there is any shot that Keir the traitor Starmer is going to give up his position of power. I mean, as I've said, we've already seen Lady Syphilis herself go off to Pakistan to see if she can get more men over here to start violating our kids or what have you. So, stands to reason why the oligarchy cannot be trusted to actually give up their power with some semblance of dignity. Remember what Tommy Robinson said. Islam is the cancer. Islam is the cancer, and Tommy is the cure. Likewise, the oligarchy is a cancer, and we the people are the cure. Oh, and on a side note, I thought I'd mention this one as well, since it also pertains to Lucy Connolly. I believe this was the Times that put this out, or the Evening Standard. Well, if it was then, they have no standards. Anyway, there was another article that came out about Lucy Connolly, how they're basically saying, why was she jailed for 31 months? And basically, it was just another hit piece trying to justify what they've done. Thank you. Because here's the thing. There has to be some serious justification to send someone down for tweets that they had effectively deleted for 31 months. And I will play devil's advocate here, and she has been released after, I think it was like 40% of her time. But that's something they have basically given everyone as standard. And I think Tommy Robinson to some degree was also given it, but he was given it conditionally, which was basically remove the silence documentary, which I will keep mentioning this. If anybody doesn't know, I have it as my pinned comment on Twitter. There is someone who put out this documentary, and I've made sure to repost it and then pin it. That way, if you ever want to see it, you can download the video and you'll be able to see the silence documentary for yourself. And I know I've done a bit of a turn with Alex Belfield in the past, where I used to support him, then I called him out for this stalking and harassment. No matter what I think of that, what I don't like more than anything else is the fact that that man, for simple harassment, no violence, he got 5.5 years in prison. Whilst David Graham, a Labour MP who was having sexual acts with a 15-year-old, he gets 27 months. I don't care if people support me or not, or think I'm a twat or whatever. The bottom line on that subject is this. That is not proportionate sentencing. If Alex Belfield could be sentenced justifiably, let's be devil's advocate and say he could be sentenced to those 5.5 years, then surely David Graham should be facing at least 5 times that sentence. And we continue to let in invaders who continually violate our kids, and all this for the sakes of diversity and inclusion. And I'm getting more than a little bit sick and fucking tired of seeing shit like this, which also includes the MAP flag effectively saying that it's okay to be attracted to minors. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't have a problem with people who are gay, people who are lesbians, or people that want to be men dressed up in women's clothes. There's nothing wrong with being a drag queen. What there is a problem with, though, is the people going out of their way to indoctrinate our kids and try to force their views upon them, or to try and force that flag down our throats. Multiculturalism, diversity and inclusion has not made our country stronger. It has made us weak and complacent. I know that particular statement is going to hurt a particularly sensitive snowflake who likes to be misogynistic around women, and his name is Sadiq Khan. For me, it all comes down to this. We should be putting the English/British people first. We shouldn't be putting the invaders first. We shouldn't be putting foreign countries first. We shouldn't be putting this war with Russia and Ukraine first. And speaking of which, despite the fact that Trump has now negotiated for peace over in Ukraine, Keir the traitor Starmer has sent UK troops over. I mean, can this cunt not read the room? Can he not see that that Trump has successfully negotiated peace? And what was it the lefties were constantly bitching about? Oh, Trump's gonna start World War III. And then when he actually starts negotiating for peace, they're like, why is he negotiating for peace? We want war. Like, you can't win with these leftoids. You really can't. They have the collective IQ of a crushed watermelon, quite frankly, with none of the juicy substance inside. But I want to focus more on Rudakubanana, because at the end of the day, why should we be housing him here in our country? Send him back to Rwanda. We shouldn't have let his parents in the fucking first place. If we hadn't have let his parents in, they wouldn't have produced the monster that is Rudakubanana. Or at least, if they would have produced him, it wouldn't have been in our country. And maybe there would have been some semblance of peace. But again, the mainstream media is not going to want to tell you that. The truth is, these governments have been a catastrophic failure to us across the last 40 to 50 fucking years. They just don't want to tell you that. They don't want to admit that. Meanwhile, we've got Keir the traitor Starmer, who is openly defying us and saying that he was voted in to deliver change, and we will continue to do that. No, Starmer, the only thing you're continually doing is changing the health percentage of this country, and it's falling fast. All you're capable of doing is putting a great big anchor onto the feet of the people, and you want to drag them down to the depths of the Pacific or the Atlantic with you. Because let's face it, Keir the traitor Starmer, you ain't lasting 10 years. There is no shot that you are lasting 10 years. 10 months, maybe. 10 years? Pfft, no fucking chance, mate. No fucking chance. The bottom line is this. This traitorous bastard should have been thrown in jail and then hung. Axel Rudakubanana should have been hung. Not given access to boiling water, and certainly not given access to a TV and a DVD player. He should have had no access to anything even considered remotely luxurious. The fact that this oligarchy is willing to give him that showcases they're putting T's, R's and M's before their own citizens' safety. And it is absolutely disgusting. What will it take for the apathetic public to finally open their fucking eyes and see the world for what it really is? I don't want people to wake up, grab their rose-tinted spectacles, and then see through the blinders, basically. I want them to see the world, tints off, for what it is. That's the country's biggest problem right now. It's not the fact that we are outnumbered, because we're not. Maybe if we consider the invaders, but that's about it. There is not enough police and not enough army to stand against us if it were to turn nasty. And let me be absolutely clear, I don't want that. But the cold, bitter truth is, that's the direction we're heading. We are heading towards a civil war. And when it happens, Starmer will only have himself to blame, as he was the one who was actively pushing for it. But the police are about 100,000. The army is about 130,000. Sorry, not 130,000. Sorry, I was adding the police figures. They're about 30,000 armed people, if they're lucky. They haven't got close to enough people to stand up to 500,000 patriots. Because that's how many I'm pretty sure will be attending this freedom of speech event on the 13th of September. We are not people who discriminate based on people's characteristics that they cannot help or fix. We have a problem with the cultures that some of these people from their third world shitholes bring with them. I don't like the idea that homosexuals can be stoned to death if they are caught buggering one another. I don't like the idea of women being treated as second-class or third-class citizens. I do not like the idea of FGM. I do not like the idea of honour killings, as they call them. I do not like the idea of all of these barbaric practices, including the non-stun slaughter that is practiced by halal standards. But there are people who want this. And the Muslim Council of Britain, they're trying to bring all this to the forefront. They're trying to bring Sharia law to the forefront. We have around 90 fucking Sharia courts running in this country right now, if not more. This is a Christian country. If you don't respect our Christian values, there's the fucking door. Let it hit you on the way out. We don't want invaders who want to subjugate and dominate. We want people who are willing to integrate and assimilate and respect our cultures and our societies. Birmingham Council, as I said before, they're more interested in, and reform, let's not forget them, because there are reformians out there who are now calling for the people who are drawing those red crosses on the roundabouts, they're calling for them to be charged under vandalism. Really? Vandalism? For drawing a red cross on a fucking roundabout? Last time I checked, that had precisely zero impact on people's ability to navigate the fucking roundabout. Unless I'm missing something here, unless there's some microscopic detail that I'm suddenly missing, I don't see what a red cross has got to do with vandalism. It's a show of patriotism. Do you know what I would consider vandalism, however? Drawing a Palestine flag on our roundabouts. Waving Palestine flags around our society. Waving and dropping Palestine flags across government buildings. Marching in the middle of the road with your Palestine flags. Getting violent with the police. Because that's usually what happens with the Plasticine movement. Especially the ones who are part of Plasticine Action. You know, that prescribed tea group. But what would I know with my 34 years of life experience? Well, I'll tell you what, my 34 years certainly stack up a lot better than Keir the Traitor Starmer's, that's for sure. I don't know whether Keir the Traitor Starmer was dropped on his head as a baby or had some other childhood traumatic experience. I'm really trying not to have that third stroke. Anyway, I don't know if he's had some kind of fucking damn it! Stroke number 3. Childhood traumatic experience in his life. For fuck's sake. But I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't justify stabbing millions of English and British people in the back to side with Islam and the WEF. What you receive now in gold will not compare to the cost you will pay the people of this country.